Jason, you've got a very good record in the Warrnambool Cup. You've had, I believe, 4 or so winners in the past few years. What is it about the Warrnambool track that keeps you coming back?
Oh, I don't know, really. I suppose it's just a race that, is on every year, and recently to the Harrison Dawson and the Sapphire Classics. So, it's suits those dogs coming off of, half circle country cup series going back to 500. I think it sharpens them up, and it's a really good lead-up race.
And the drive doesn't bother you too much? What, it'd be upwards of 3 hours, wouldn't it?
Oh, look, with a couple of stops, it's about 4.5. So, look, it's enjoyable when you win, and it's a long drive home when you get beat.
Absolutely, especially when it's cold and wet. But I suppose last night wouldn't have been too bad with your 2 successful entrants. Let's talk about Zambora Smokey. He was the fastest heat winner, and boy, was he impressive.
Yeah, look, his run was good. His form leading up to the heat was, all that we could ask out of him. He's only lightly raced dog, and I think he'd won 6 in a row before last night, and I think all of them were in best time of the night. So he was in good form, confident. Had a bit of luck with a late scratching in box 5, gave him plenty of room. Dog out of box 3 went straight to the fence, so he got a very clear run early. I was probably a bit surprised actually that he was able to come from behind Simon Told Helen and running down. So I think that just added another vote the way he races, because he's been a dog that, he's never been in a pressure race like this before, and to see him, come from behind and run the way he did was very encouraging. And I think going forward with him, he's only 2-year-old that, I think once we get through this and get him up to 500, he's going to, should be a pretty good dog.
Absolutely. Can you talk me through how important confidence is in a greyhound? He's had, like you mentioned, a really good run of consecutive wins. He's up to 7 at the moment. Does that give you more confidence in him?
Yeah, well, I think going into these sort of races, it's hard coming off a couple of losses to try and regain confidence and form in a heat of a group race. So the idea, and we planned this race, him going in this race probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, was just keep him going around in the country and in half circle races at, probably easier type races, hit the Warrnambool Cup full of confidence. Took him down there, I think 3 weeks ago for a heat and final of a race. Got a good look at the track, and, then took him away, went to Warrnambool and then back to Sale with him, and, obviously Warrnambool last night. So he went there full of confidence, in good form, and he still needed a lot of luck in running, and he was able to get the right luck and qualify and win well.
He sure did. Now, box 2 in the final. I was looking back on his form, and he's had 4 starts from box 4 and won them all. It's almost like he wants to be in the blue rug.
Yeah, I think he's suited being in the middle of the track. He'll go straight out of any box, but he probably is more favoured drawers to be in the middle. I think, he's got box 2 in the final. The way the field's drawn, I don't think it's too big of a disadvantage to him. I think the dog in box 3 and our other dog in box 4 will give him that little bit of room. The dog off the red, he's going to move down to the fence. So there's going to be plenty of room there for him to posse up. And look, he has got plenty of speed. He may even be able to lead, but I don't think he'll be able to lead the red. It possibly could be a similar scenario to the heat last night.
And you'd almost be expecting improvement from Simon Told Helen. We haven't seen him in a little while as well, so there's that to factor in too.
Yeah, I think obviously the dog hasn't raced for some weeks, and he'll get a lot of benefit out of that run. And I think the task, if we don't lead him in the final, I don't know whether with that run under his belt, Simon Told Helen, that we would be able to run him down. I think he'll get a lot of benefit out of it. He's a class dog, and he's won big races before, and I don't think we'd be wanting to give him too big of a start, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not. Now, razor sharp. He jumped, led and won in his heat, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, look, very, very lucky to probably get through, because Tigalong Tong sort of blundered the start and then got himself into a lot of trouble. We came out good and missed all the trouble. So if we don't draw box 1, I don't think we qualify. So I think we're just fortunate enough to have a good draw, luck in running, and grateful to be in the race. He still ran nice time, but I think he'll probably need others to have a lot of bad luck and him to have a lot of good luck, and he might have used all his good luck last night.
Absolutely. And at $11, you wouldn't mind being a betting man in his heat?
Yeah, well, look, obviously no one's expecting the trouble Tiggerlong Tonk got into for that to happen. And, once they'd gone 20 metres, obviously $11, looked juicy odds. But I think you'd be a pretty game person to take on Tiggerlong Tonk, no matter what box you got.
Oh, without a doubt. Now, box 4 in the final, you're just thinking it's going to be quite hard for him?
Yeah, I do. But, when you're in these races, you can always win them. So I wouldn't say he couldn't win them, but for him to win again, he'd need the luck that he had in his heat. And I just can't see that happening. But he's a very honest dog, and if he could sneak into a place or top 4, I think it'd be a good run.
Absolutely. Now, it's great for both your owners in these races, the Bocellis to the See the Dream Syndicate, as well as Charlie as a party, who have both had connections to previous Warrnambool Cup winners. Do you kind of take that on and enjoy the ride with them heading into the Warrnambool Cup this week or next week?
Oh, yeah, look, I mean, the two owners, they enjoy winning races anywhere, so they're great people to train dogs for. Really love winning it. Doesn't matter whether it's a group race or a maiden at any of the country tracks. So they love and enjoy dogs racing. And I'm sure they're both really pleased to get their dogs into the final. And if one of them is lucky enough to win it, they'll certainly enjoy it.
Fantastic. Well, Jace, thanks so much for your time and good luck in the Warrnambool Cup.
All right, thanks, Molly.